Oh my goodness, what a tumultuous 60 minutes it has been. Very, very interesting. So, Warhammer Community just dropped an article, Legacy of the Age of Darkness, what you need to know, and I'm going to run through it with you today. So, this is an interesting one, isn't it? Because it's either massively egg on all our faces, including ours. After we did our drop site rules massacre. So if this was always intended, then it is massively egg on our face. But there will be those in the community who feel strongly that the community pushed back so hard that actually Games Workshop had to bend and give way and introduce units that they weren't necessarily intending to put in. So I suppose what I would say is I apologize to GW if they were always intending to launch such a comprehensive PDF, and I unreservedly take back what I said. But if in fact that wasn't the case and GW has kind of bent to the whims of the community, I suppose that what it does show is that if a community is vocal enough about protecting and sustaining their hobby, then it can be done. Anyway, with that, let's make a start. So I'm going to run through the text with you and just give you my kind of initial kind of thoughts. So the article says, new edition of Heresy lands in stores in just a few days' time. We know loads of you are excited to get stuck into the game and to get to your new Saturnine units onto the battlefield. Lovely job, Lee. We've also noticed that some of you are concerned that certain units in your existing armies might not be usable in the new edition, especially if they don't feature in the Liber book for that faction. Yep, I think that's certainly a fair one, and that was a fair one from me. And I think I was, as I say in my video, very passionate about that and very forthright about that as well. Hopefully this article will reassure you that those Tartarus Terminators with Power Fists, Destroyers with Jump Packs, and lovingly converted White Scars champions on bikes won't be resigned to a life on the shelf. No, and I think when people read that third paragraph down, they were ecstatic. I think that this is now with this is going to shape up to be a really exciting edition. I think that whatever's happened in the past few days, whether as I say, whether this was always planned or whether not, this is going to allay a lot of fears. And we've got lovely. Look at those destroyers. Look at them, so beautiful. The upcoming Legacies of Darkness PDF is a huge document which will allow you to continue to use the vast majority of miniatures you've amassed over the last decade. Yep, absolutely great recognition there that there are veteran hobbyists who've been around for a long time. Alongside the digital support for the likes of the Talons of the Emperor, Imperial Army and Runestorm Demons, players with existing Horus Heresy collections will be able to keep fielding older miniatures in their games. This PDF is set to drop shortly after the release of the Saturnine box set, and it will cover a wide swathe of the more exotic and specialised units of the Age of Darkness. I mean, when we're talking about Destroyers, I think it's exotic and erotic. Why were these rules not in the Liber books? Now, I suppose this is the $1,000,000 question, isn't it? And looking and seeing what they've written here goes back to, I suppose, the point we made in that drop site massacre video, which was actually, if you're new, it's very. You want to buy a siege breaker with a jump pack, actually, and it's got a power axe that requires you to buy 3 kits. And they've explained the rationale on this one, almost verbatim from that video. The army lists in the Liber books are a reflection of the current range of miniatures. They are written to reflect the contents of box units. That is interesting, though, because I would push back a little bit on that one, which is Linnaeans and a few other units in there. They do not have the same amount of war gear options. That is not within the current miniature range. So my prediction is that Justarian and Linnaeans are going to be the first in their plastic kit. If they're not over the course of the next couple of years, then that is a false statement. They're written to reflect the contents of the box units, so new players can build armies without feeling the need to buy multiple kits just to make one unit. Fair. We made that point, right? And we said in that, we did try and give the flip side of the argument and say this is probably why they're doing it from a management point of view. The boxes themselves are designed to represent the most typical war gear loadouts those units would have. It also means that those rulebooks can still be compact enough to transport to your games. Yeah, fine. However, Horus Heresy Age of Darkness is designed as a game where Legacy can live, and we fully intend for players with existing armies to use these Legacy units in their games, including in competitive play. They are no less official than any other units, and that is something I would say. Somebody on a group, like a local group I was on, was sort of saying, you know, are people less likely to use the legacy units? And actually, those legacy units are just as valuable as the Liber documents to the Liber books to Heresy players. Like, they're no more invalid even at tournament play. Like, it's fair play, right? Like, you can just use them. Can I use them in tournaments? But the short answer will be yes. No. Yeah, I suppose what they've just said in that part of the article is it's a more narrative game, but essentially that's up to individual EOs. Is everything covered in the Legacies PDF? So not quite. There are notable absences from this list, including a selection of name characters who have never had miniature released. These are usually variants of champions, captains. Yeah, so like we'll go through the list in a bit, but I think some have been taken out. And I suppose if you've made those characters before, you can just be like, okay, well, he's just generic Centurion, generic champion or whatever. And we talked about that in the last vid, you know, how you would repurpose miniatures. There's no need to repurpose that many miniatures now because we're away. So players who've converted such miniatures can continue to use them using the rules of that character's archetype with the appropriate weapons. Fine. Awesome. Great. Sounds good. There are a very small number of units which once existed in the rules but were never on sale, which are no longer part of the game at all. This might be because a newer incarnation of that unit has replaced them, or because we plan to revisit them at some point. So that's really exciting. Like that, that is pretty cool. Even in these instances, there is usually a close approximation that you can represent with your converted miniatures. So let's have a look. So this is, I mean, this document, people were joking about it being the size of War and Peace. I think it may be bigger than War and Peace at this point. So we've got veteran breacher squads. Lovely jubbly. I suspect those are going to be able to take Volkites, and I don't know, will they be similar to normal breachers? So they'll be ballistic skill 5. That's my thought, and they can take an array of weaponry. So Volkites, melters, flamers, the things that they used to be able to take, I suspect they'll be able to take now. If that's the case, brilliant. Right, that's good. Veteran heavy support squads. That is interesting. Whether they'll be BS5 heavy support squads, that will be a bit juicy. Like, doesn't seem too much of a need for that, but I'll go with the flow. You know what? Who am I at this moment in time to complain about extra units? Tartarus Terminator Siege Squad. Of course, they're going to have Power Fists, right? Like, they are going to be there. Indomitus Terminator Squad, that is great because so many people have Indominus Terminator conversions, so that's really, really cool. Hope they keep the hammer and hope they keep the combat shields that they come with. The 2 destroyers, so we've got the assault version, the destroyer version. Why they weren't in the book, I don't know, and I guess we'll never know now, but I am fine with that. Land Raider Achilles, really sexy model, that's great. Cessna's Assault Ram, it's just Chef Kiss, good. Love to see that. Attack Bike Squadron, nice. Scout Squad. Yeah, that was unusual in its absence in the Libers, but I suppose they don't make like a 30k equivalent. But that's cool to see. Basilisk Medusas, Thunderhawk Transporter. And then this is going to be the big one and the one that really excites people. So, Praetorian Command Squad on Scimitar jet bikes. Really great, really awesome to see. Praetorian Command Squad on Outrider bikes. Really, that's really, really important for those White Scars players. Like, really, really important. What, I don't know if it says that there's a Praetorian or Praetor on bike. I don't think I've seen that. So I'm going to assume that they are coming within this document. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Warmonger, brilliant. Hopefully that's still able to deep strike. Primus Medicae, brilliant. Like having a HQ that's also can give the medic reaction really good. Pathfinder, Delegatus. Yeah, unusual by its absence, the Delegatus. I suppose less of a need now because there's no Rights of War, but that's good to see. Armistos and a Mortificator as well. And Mortificator's kind of wandered around with Dreadnought. So nice to see all those. And it says, in addition to the units, the PDF will also include options to equip many characters with exotic war gear, including bikes, jump pack. Thank God. Oh my God, that makes me so happy. Thank the maker. Right, let's have a look at Legion specific stuff. So Dark Angels. We've got Cataphractii Terminator Deathwing Companions and Tartarus Deathwing Companions. So those were in the previous PDF. And lots of people kind of like went to town on those conversions. So good to see those back. Inner Knights, Zenobiums, Order of the Broken Claws. They were exemplary battle unit that had like slightly different swords, and the like not the box art, but I think Demi had painted them up in like white, and they looked really cool. So it's good to see those back. Really pleased to see the Exindio back as well, because lots of people have spent time on that. Firewing, brilliant. Paladin the Hecanistica in Terminator armor. Yeah, I mean we brought that up in the last like episode that it was weird that you couldn't upgrade it. Especially as they do like a Praetor Cataphracti kind of like version with a Volkite Charger and the sword, which could just double up as the Paladin, so that's great. And then additional Legion armory options as well. Brilliant. Like great to see that. I think it's the more cynical part of me might say, why weren't these additional Legion options just in the Libers? But I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. Emperor's Children, Sunkillers, great. Rylanor, I mean, he's the OG, isn't he? He's the OG. He's the boss. Palatine Blade, Aquilae Squad, and also Legion Armory options, great. Domitor, I mean, Lee's going to be over the moon about this. Well, I'm sure he's going to be over the moon about the fact that hopefully breachers have like Volkite Chargers, but we've got Dominators, we've got Narek Draker stayed in as well, which is cool. Iron Havocs, the Tormentor, and hopefully pinning bolters. White Scars, we've got Dark Sons of Death, and we've got Falcon's Claws. We've got Space Wolves, we've got a Hurlan Hunter pack, we've got a Fimrizian Wolf pack, and then we've got Speaker of the Dead. So it's really nice to see the Speaker of the Dead back, because I know that lots of people have put time and effort into those kind of like conversions. Imperial Fist, we've got the Huskars, really frightening unit. Obviously, Battle Hardened's gone now, so they, I'm sure, will be rather tasty. The Aetus Deus and additional Legion Armory options as well. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not the Iliastus Assault Cannon comes back for them. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. Yeah, it'll be nice to see that come back. We got the Night Lords, Atramenta, Flay, Clade, and additional Legion armory options as well. And then we've got the Blood Angel. So this is quite cool. So we've got the Ophium Court, and then the Ophium Court with jump packs, which was an option kind of like previously. They did do like a Sanguinary Guard squad, and like even like Cult of Paint, I think did like a conversion of those. So whether they've just been replaced with the Ophenim Court, I don't know. And then we've got an Ilias, the support squad as well. So what that will look like, I don't know. Whether that will be the Angels Tears that you can just have with like jump packs in Iliastus now, or whether that will literally just be a support squad, that will be interesting to see. Iron Hands have got their Morlocks back, and then they've also got their Legion Armory as well. So it will be interesting to see whether they get... I mean, they've got their grav pistols and stuff already, so they won't need those. Maybe they will have Morlocks with combi bolters. That would be nice. It's got Red Hand Destroyer Mortalis squad, which are always pretty cool, and they've also got the Destroyer Assault squad as well. This is it. This is the moment I've been waiting for. So we've got Locutaris, we've got Nemesis, great, and we've got Honor Telemachus, and then we've got Fulmentaris as well. So thank the maker. Like, I'm so pleased about that they have got those. Yes, fantastic. I'm so happy that those are in. I mean, I don't know what their point's going to be, but I'm not going to be picky and choosy at this moment in time. We've got Mortis Poisonous Squad, which is really nice for Death Guard players, and then we've got additional Legion Armory. I think a criticism was whether they would have their flamers, like the I don't know if it's Toxiferum Flamers or their Alchem Flamers, I think it was. So whether they get those back in there, I think that'd be nice. Thousand Suns, I mean, if they aren't strong enough, they've got new units. So we've got Numerologist Cabal, we've got Armitara, Occult Intercession Cabal, and then we've got some more stuff for them. Bloody don't need more stuff. They've bloody got loads in that book. Sons of Horus kept their chieftains, and then we've got the Reaver Aggressor Squad, which I know that lots of people were hoping for with their jump packs, which is really, really nice. Word Bearer, right, well, this is a big one for Word Bearers, I think. So we've got the Procurators and Procurators with jump packs, and then Legion Armory options. So will they get their Warp Fire Plasma guns back? Like, fingers crossed. That'd be great. Salamanders, we've got Adherent Squad, Sanctifier Squad, and Cassian Drekos Reborn. So he's just like a badass dreadnought. They lost one of their Nomus Raitan, it seems here, whether he'll come back in some way. But they did say right at the top, it's unlikely you won't get them back. He will just become like a generic console now. So that's cool. Raven Guard got deliverers. Can't shoot them beyond 18 inches, but doesn't matter about that. Alpha Legion, they got their Ifrit, they got their Awesome score, and then they got additional Legion armory options. Knight Errants, yeah, I didn't even think about that. So we've got Garrow and Titus Rubio. I'm sure that was always going to be in no matter what happened here. We've got a range of fortifications that I won't go with you right now. In terms of Mechanicum Tagmata, we've got Tech Thralls, we've got the Macro Carried Explorator, which is absolutely great because it's an awesome model, but they've not sold that for a very, very long time. We've got the Assault Drill, and then we've got the Tarantula Sentry gun batteries as well for the mech, which is, yeah, that's okay. Now, Solar Auxilia, man alive, they've got a whole load of stuff. So we've got a named kind of Surgeon, which is Surgeon Prime Avos Joven. We've got the Navigator, Davenite Lodge Priest, Medicae Section, Aurochs Transport, yada, 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 and a whole load of tanks, right? So really, really awesome to see all those options there. And just to finish up, they're saying it's very satisfying to fill armies you've collected across a decade together in a game. 100%. Like, I agree with that. It is very satisfying. I think that's the point that we made because people have spent a long time painting and modelling these. But we know that you also want new miniatures. This edition will continue to expand the miniatures range in plastic, including some units in this legacy list, which will return with new designs and possibly new weapon options and war gear. Okay, cool. Great to hear. It's great to hear that they're giving us these, and then these, like, are a stopgap. It allows people to use them for the moment, and they may come back with, like, new rules and new models. Brilliant. When this happens, you can expect to see some of those units here phased out. So this is going to be a living document that they update, and then with the updated unit covered in an appropriate new publication. So we've got the unit, and then I have no doubt it's going to be in those tactical journals. So if it leaves here, it will be in those those tactical journals, probably with points reworked and things like that. So yeah, really, really interesting. They obviously talk us through the digital downloads, and then they implore us to go and buy the Saturnine box set, of which I have bought 5 of those Saturnine box sets. So it'll be interesting to see what I do with those. So all round, I think this is alleviated a lot of people's fears. I think that we can. Oh, look at that! We've got a Tartarus with a power fist there. This has alleviated a lot of people's fears. And worries. It's certainly alleviated my fears and worries, and I feel like we can kind of, with a bit of a false start, we can kind of get back on track with the excitement of this new edition. Again, I will emphasize, because I have no doubt many people will say, Rob, you got too hot and heavy in your previous videos. You're absolutely right. If this was planned all along, then I eat my words. There is egg on my face, and I apologise to GW. However, as I say, if this was not planned, and I guess we will never know, so it just further entrenches everybody's thoughts. But if this wasn't planned, and they've kind of gone and had a meeting maybe over the past couple of days or this morning or whatever, and kind of gone, okay, I think we probably need to address this. This is beyond what we're factoring in and expecting for a rework of the new edition. This is I think from a community point of view, I think some people went a bit hot and heavy, and I think you could put me into that camp as well. I mean, I try to be weigh up both sides of the argument, but I think there were some people who were obscene, particularly towards Pardo. I think that was just outrageous. But if we got them back as a result of the community pushing back, then I suppose it goes to show, number one, just how precious Horus Heresy is to people, and that those tenets of heresy are really critical and really important. And just perhaps that this, I guess, will be a lesson that actually, or maybe lesson's the wrong word, but perhaps this will be an opportunity for GW to reflect on, this is a different game with a different kind of gamer to perhaps the other games that we do. If this was never intended. But as I say, if it was intended, egg on my face, I eat my words, and I apologise profusely. Anyway, guys, thanks ever so much for watching this one. I hope you can tell that I'm absolutely buzzing about these units, and I've got my units back and things like that. So that's really, really cool. I'm really happy for Lee, really happy for you guys as well. There's obviously a few questions. White Scars, by the looks of it, doesn't look like they're going to be able to score. Day of Revs, that's looks like it's gone out the window. But I think that this probably addressed lots of the war gear options, and it means that like a community war gear, like I mean, we talked about the two-pager that is not needed any longer because it looks like they've probably factored that in from the article. But we'll wait and see. But yeah, really excited. And then after this video is going to drop a video about weapons that me and Lee actually did this morning, talking about what weapons we think are going to be useful in 3.0. So go and watch that and enjoy it. Take care. And we will probably do more videos next week. Just because it's been quite an intense week for us with everything that's been going on, and I've got lots of things to do this weekend as well. So see us back next week, and thanks ever so much for watching.